Hi, it's Pank from HnO NLProject. I hope you're well, and today I will continue our NLP course. And we focus on a very interesting aspect, our perception cues. In NLP, they have a main idea about the fact that the map is not the territory, and our map is not the territory, but our map is not the map of the other people. So sometimes it's quite difficult to communicate with them. Even if we have a good rapport, we will observe that perhaps I don't really understand his mind, his concept of what he wants to share with me, and we have difficulties to give a feedback or have a good interaction with people because at the moment we cut the rapport because we don't use the same semantics, the same body language, or perhaps we talk too fast, or perhaps even if we try to synchronize with people, we feel it's not okay. And a lot of time it's because we don't really care about the predicate, the different word they will use, and we have in our five sense one we use more than the other. You can have two big main points, but a lot of time in NLP we will think, okay, what is the first main point, the first sense you use the most, and with that we will take care. So now think we have five sense. We will just call it the VAKOG, okay, VAKOG. And a lot of time in NLP, we just say the VAK, VAK. Why? Because in kinesthetic K, we can put in a subtitle, in fact, the olfactive and gustative part. So it depends from different school, but you can say VAKOG or VAK. Okay. So just stay focused on that. We will just take care about the different semantics and how our partner will talk and will move and will express stuff. We know in our mind when we want to express something to people, when we want to communicate something, we give just a conclusion about all the process we have in our mind. So we have just a very few elements to give a conclusion to people. In fact, we don't give all our process why we will say this word at this moment in this situation. We will just study that later. It's called meta model. But it's always interesting to understand that we will use naturally what is easy for us. Why? Because one of our five program in the brain is to use the minimum of energy. So we won't repeat all the process all the time and explain all the story about why we say that to you at this moment. Okay, so we will just focus on this different aspects. My partner can be visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and in the kinesthetic way, olfactive or and gustative. Okay, so just stay in three in the beginning: visual, auditory, kinesthetic. It's interesting to understand that if you talk with word in, for example, auditory way, with a lot of sound express of the tonality, express of the sense of different aspect of the word. If you use your voice a lot and you try to just emphasize certain points with your sound of the voice, and your partner is more focused on the visual way, in fact, about the image, the size, the color, the different aspect that he can perceive with his eyes, we will have a mismatch. And we can remember in our report one of the first stuff is to create a match and after synchronize with that. So if we haven't that, it will be difficult to stay in the good rapport for a long time. And like they explain in process communication, we will use a lot of energy to stay in the same type of semantics, in the same type of perception of life. If, for example, I am auditory and you are visual, I will try, and I don't try, I will do my best to talk with you with your own semantics. And I will give you a map that you can understand and not my own map. But this effort to explain to you, to talk with you with your own language is difficult for me. It's like when I talk in English or in German or in Spanish. I'm French, and although it make me it took me a lot of energy to just talk a lot with people, because my brain and all my activity is not in the same language. So all the time I need to translate, and even if it's more natural, sometimes it's quite difficult and I need more energy for that. So it's the same when you want to talk with people who have visual way or auditory way or kinesthetic way. And kinesthetic is the feeling with the body, with the feeling of the movement, and you will have very someone who will talk a lot with what he can feel inside, what he can touch, what he can move, and so on. So you need to understand that when you will talk in a different aspect and in the same semantics that your partner, you will use a lot of energy. And with this use of energy, it will be difficult to stay a lot of time in the good rapport. But with the common trends, what can happen? It's our partner will create mirroring with us. So at this moment, he will do his best to talk in our perception way. For example, I'm auditory, you are visual. So little by little, with the mirroring and with the pace and the lead, I do my best to be in the same movement. And at this moment, with the common trends, you in visual way, you will change a lot of time subconsciously to talk with some word in auditory way. So you will give some energy to me, and me, I will give you some energy, and little by little we can create a quite long rapport and quite beautiful and nice communication. So just keep in mind for this lesson, the main idea, we have three main way to have the perception of the word: visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Via the eyes and image, via the sound and the ear, via our body and the feeling. And we need to find first and adapt our communication with people to be closer as possible with the semantics and the way of perception he will use. So with visual, auditory, or kinesthetic way. That's all for today, but just begin to observe with people all around you, and perhaps with yourself, what is for you your main perception clues in your life, and how you use it, and with close people like family, what is their way of talking, of or observe the word, and is your communication is good for them or not. If you have some question, just let me know. Like every day, just take what is good for you. Take care. Bye.